They'd sit there with a open briefcase, not necessarily open, but that briefcase had a revolver in it, just some duffel bag sitting on the ground, cash money. And they had their, they all had done it. Now God.
I'd like to call the meeting of Jefferson School Board together for August 8th, 2022. Please stand and join us for the class. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We have roll call. Tracy Rowe. Here. Fred Sotomayor. Here. Dewey Robbins. Here. Tracy Kamlani. Terry Kamlani. I wrote it down correctly. I just don't read it correctly. Kay Jones present. Terry. I wrote it down correctly. All right. I will entertain a motion to review, adjust, and approve the agenda.
We approve the agenda and consent items as written.
Do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Any further discussion? Fred?
Yeah, on page 8 of the resolution, the only thing I can see that I'm a number guys.
Okay.
Guy, and on the resolution number 2022, 2023, 22.07.001. On the second, further resolve that the Jefferson Park and Recreation District may use the mowing equipment of the district and will be charged a reasonable reimbursement rate that will be determined annually. I like seeing the number there instead of, I mean, who determines that and what's reasonable to them may not be reasonable to us. Not against them using the equipment. But
And what is that amount, Brad?
I don't have it in front of me. You can check it out.
It's most likely, so it's an established fee that our financial department would have. And then we can just look at it year to year. My guess is that it doesn't change. It stays consistent, or fairly consistent, but we don't have the number.
Jennifer, if you would change the resolution number from 22.07.001 to 22.808.001. Yes.
I think what you're getting at is relationships and those things need to be revisited from time to time to make sure that we have a formal process for it. Is where you're heading on. Sure.
Well, it sounds like we have in the past we've had, we're just going to be a plugged in anything. Just my opinion.
Okay, would we, at this point, in light of Fred's question and request, amend the motion for the agenda and consent items and pull this one for next month?
If we don't pass this today, is it going to prevent them from using these? Well, we're good for a while until next month.
Well, I mean, I think we're fine. However, I guess what I'm wondering about, because of the fact that they haven't placed a number on there, my feeling that there's some reason for that. Right? So I'd like to do understanding about that. But You know, it's also something we could, put forward so we have an established relationship between, and then we can look into it to see if we want to. But
We could come back and amend this resolution.
right.
Um,
But I mean, we could come back, if we pass it tonight, we could come back next month, we could have some information about why it would not have it. And if we want to put it on, what would that be? And then if it doesn't make sense to put a number on there each year, since we do this resolution, yeah, you know, things could go up and down from month to month. And so, you know, if we charge a little bit more because of fuel prices, because of inflation, that kind of thing, it could be, if we set a number for the beginning of the year, and say that's not that number. So my feeling is that this allows us to be flexible and to have that number change, so that we can have a reimbursement that's reasonable, so that we wouldn't have to be stuck to a certain figure.
I'm okay with that in the declaration, you know, next month, and go ahead and pass it, I don't know the rest of the people.
I'm good with that.
Tracy,
I'd also like to point out two things. I'm sure it's probably right around 50% of average rental rate to be able to utilize something. I don't believe that we're going to be 100% of rental rate in what it is that we're providing them. But I'd also like to point out that further resolve with the Jefferson School District that we will provide up to $35,300 annually to help defray the cost of the Jefferson Middle School athletic program. And I don't want to say that this is a moot point. I think clearly we're smart to make sure that we know what that figure is.
Because we do know.
Okay, but at the end of the day, we're providing the athletic program $35,300 to help defray the cost of the athletic programs for the middle school and some of the programs. So keeping in good faith and being transparent, I support moving forward with this tonight myself, and then making some adjustment and amendment to it at the next meeting if needed. If needed, yes.
all right, so at this time, we are voting on accepting the approved agenda and consent agenda items with making sure that the resolution 22.08.001 states that on the document.
Point of clarification here, you just said 22.08.001.
Right, and I know that's why I made the comment that we needed to change the 7 to an 8 on that page.
Okay. Thank you.
So call for the vote. Terry Kumai,
Aye.
Dewey Roberts,
Aye.
Fred Sotomayor,
Aye.
Tracy Rowe,
Aye.
Kate Jones, aye. All right, at this point, I'm going to ask Mark Manning to come up and as he's representing the Landmark Commission.
Mark, how long ago did you retire?
10 years ago.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for those of you who don't know me, I taught at the district here for 20 years at art high school, art photography. So I'm here tonight on behalf of the City of Jefferson and the Landmarks Advisory Commission. The LAC, the Landmarks Advisory Commission, is a group of 6 members who've been given the task by the City of Jefferson of protecting, enhancing, and safeguarding the city's history and cultural heritage. We are to promote the use of historic districts, landmarks, and museums for the education, pleasure, and welfare of the people of Jefferson. So a couple of things that the LAC has done in the last couple of years is we've been designating historic homes. And the City of Jefferson is kind of a little bit late to them compared to other cities, Albany and Salem in doing that, but we've gotten started. And we've designated about 14 plaques for homes that are, and businesses that are 100 years old and have maintained the historic look of their home. We've been very involved with the Jefferson Historical Society and the City of Jefferson and the Concert family in efforts to restore the 1854 Concert House on Main Street, creating a museum and cultural center. Now, I don't know if any of you had a chance to be down there, but they've had kind of soft openings, and they're going to be doing a lot more. But it has been a long journey, but it's taken place in large part to a member of our LAC, Patty and Frank Ball, did a lot of grant writing and all that. And also through that, we're offering a concert series, which is on Tuesday night, tomorrow night, from 6 to 7, and a farmer's market that's just getting started, and that's tomorrow as well, from 3 to 7. And a relatively new venture has been to place plaques around town on buildings with, and I'm going to leave you a concert series that are coming up. This is the second one tomorrow night. And these are our homes, the picture and the plaques that have been presented to them. I'll leave that for you guys. And a little bit of what Landmarks have been doing. But today, a relatively new venture has been placing plaques around town on buildings with vintage photos showing how they looked in the 1800s and early 1900s. Some buildings, unfortunately, too many buildings no longer exist, but photographs have survived. And we're making an effort to place these plaques in various places where historic buildings once stood. And today I'd like to present this plaque to the Jefferson School District, showing the first school buildings in Jefferson. And these are printed on a thin metal surface, so they should hold up to weather. So the first building was built in 1857, the first school in Jefferson, and it lasted until 1899. It was torn down, and then the next building, the first public school, was built in 1899 and until 1938, when the current grade school was built. This building was to the north of the current grade school, and this building was built to the south. Sadly, these beautiful first buildings were torn down, but it's our hope that this plaque will provide information to current and future residents and an awareness of how important it is to preserve, protect, and learn about our past. And we'd also like to commend the Jefferson School District in their recent efforts while building the additions of classroom and gymnasium to the current grade school on how skillfully and seamlessly they added the new while keeping and enhancing the old. And hopefully a model for the future building. Thank you for your participation in our efforts in displaying this plaque.
And when they were working on the new construction at the elementary, they found bricks from the previous buildings.
Oh, really?
And I think they're on display in the hall at the elementary.
So I'm not sure where, if you have decided where this is going to go. We have not in front of the one side of the grade school.
Yeah. That seems great.
Thank you so much.
Mark, is your home one of those?
It is. It is. Ours is a 1893 A.B. Huddleston. We had one of the first. We sold farm implements and tools and that kind of thing. And part of the venture in finding, historic homes, it's finding who the first owner was and when it was built. And that is a very difficult task. There were no building permits or that kind of thing. So it's pretty ominous task, but it's been fun too. So thank you very much for being part of it.
Hey, Mark, how far reaching do you go? Or is this just within the urban, the city limits, urban growth boundary for?
It's just within the city limits. Yeah. the plaques are paid for by the LAC funds, but just you can see that.
My wife and I, we have the Schultz Farm out in, off of Vaughn Road. Our house was built in 1909.
And I said the plaques are paid for city, but without, in the general area, folks who are interested can talk to us, and you can have a plaque made, or we can have a plaque made for you, but you'd have to buy it. But
Sure.
we have a couple of those, Karen Wells, the Larry Wells farm out there, and Skyward House. So the last house, we get under the freeway, the big two-story round house. They just put up box. So that would, we have tours of these, walking tours and driving tours that people can go around and see them. And so those houses can be on that kind of tour too.
I think it's awesome what you guys are doing.
And this winter, we're having a parlor tour. We're opening up some of these homes that people come in during just before Christmas, and it's in the parlor tour. So, and the manners right here at the end of right, a couple of doors down from me are also on that. That's sorry. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah.
Which one yours?
The White House at Church and Third, it's the one with wraparound porch.
Yeah, so Ammons, and then I think Porter's is over there too.
Yeah, Darlene and there.
Yeah, originally, Smith built it. They have the grocery store, Jefferson Market, first one in the town. And then the Fontaines, who also worked with him, they lived in the house. We're carrying it on.
And they'll be on the parlor tour.
Yeah.
You don't want to inside house inside. Okay, thank you very much.
All right. Move on down to reports, and as Patty Pruitt is ill and unable to attend today, if you have concerns, please call in and address them with her, or we can bring this information back next month. So at this point, we'll move on to the superintendent's update.
Good evening. Chair Jones, members of the board, just a few updates for you tonight. First, I recently attended an all-day retreat in Salem with the Willamette Promise Board. As you know, I was asked to sit on the board last spring, and the Willamette Promise is a career and college readiness program specializing in university credits, advising and career-related activities to support students as they work for the future. Their goal is to help students understand their options and have the skills and knowledge to make independent and informed decisions. So we remain committed partners in order to provide our students with dual credit options, post-secondary advising, information about Oregon employment skill, employability skill, providing career fairs, mock interviews, real-world experiences, access to trades academy, etc. It's a great program, and we fully support it. Administrators are back from holiday, and we spent the morning beginning our planning for the fall. We're excited about the year ahead and renewing our commitment to our strategic plan. As you know, we have our back to school event on August 17th from 4 to 7. We're excited to hand out backpacks and host a community event with many of our partners in the community. This will build off of our event last year. Last year was our first year doing it, and we hope it will continue to build each year, and we'll be able to provide more backpacks each year as the word spreads. Summer school visitations will be this week, and you've been invited to participate. If you can make the tour, please RSVP to Jennifer, and we'll go see what's happening at the summer school programs. And finally, we have an all-staff Avid workshop this month. The idea, instead of just sending a few people to Avid, they have different workshops. One's in San Francisco, one's in Seattle, Florida, Colorado, is to bring Avid to us. The thinking is that we can send a couple people, which we do, that are doing the Avid program. But if we want to start using Avid strategies across the board in our schools, it behooves us to be able to get as many people trained in how to do that as possible. And one way to do that is to bring it out of here. So that's what we did. With some of our initial grant money, we were able to engage Abbott and say, would you come here and give us some training? So on the 24th and 25th of this month, we'll be at Boulder Falls Indian Conference Center in Lebanon. And 41 of our staff have agreed to come. So those are 2 days of staff on their summer break coming and learning. We're also going to have our administrative retreat afterwards in the evening after the teachers leave, and do some more intentional planning that we've already started, but we'll go deeper there. So anyway, looking forward to some of those events, and we're starting to gear up for the fall, and I think we've got our energy back and ready for it. So bring it on.
Glad you're back from Portugal.
Thank you, I made it back.
Brad, have you heard anything from ODE about COVID requirements for when school starts?
Yeah, just read a slide deck and a review of the material that they're presenting. There's nothing new in terms of something we have to do. It's just updating our current COVID plan. So ODE hasn't come out and said everyone has to, do X, Y, or Z, but the ideas of like all teachers need to be vaccinated kind of thing is still a standing law that we have to abide by. So nothing has changed that would cause us, or that would bring up here, or that we would have to start preparing for. But we do have to keep our plan updated and make sure that if ODE, in the community for that matter, wants to know what our plan is for keeping people safe, then we have that printed.
Any other questions? Right. Item 7, if we go to new business, and first thing on the agenda is our board goals. Motion.
I move that we accept these board goals for 22-23 school year as written. Second.
Are we speaking about the new policy, 7B? No, not yet, sorry.
I second.
Tracy, thank you for the second. Board goals that we're looking at are the school board will participate with the district and constituents in reviewing and revising the mission and the vision statements during the fall quarter of 2022-2023. The second goal is school board members will plan and participate in at least 4 board work sessions annually. And the third one is the board members will visit facilities as policy BBAA requires or attend school function events or functions at least 5 times annually. So is there further discussion?
Clarification, okay.
Yes.
With respects to item number 3, the school board members will visit facilities per policy. I don't have the policy here with me. BBAA requires or attend school events or functions at least five times annually. Does that include the OSBA educational opportunities in the summer and fall?
No.
I think that it's important that with the changing times, post-COVID, things of that sort, I think it's important for those of us that have attended those over the years to go get a refresh. It helps us be better boards persons, you know, with regards to the changing times and new ideas, things of that sort. I don't know if that's something that can be discussed, or if it needs to be added to this. I'm tending to believe that that's something that should be added to this. So that we're doing our best, as stewards of this educational process, that we're staying educated as well. Being a board member in the school district, changing times, living document, all that stuff. I believe that we would be serving our students and our faculty better by seriously considering doing that.
Is the November one?
Advertised yet?
Yeah, well, I thought they said it was gonna be online again.
No, I believe it's in person.
It is in person. The band one,
It was in person.
the band one is.
They actually did, they
The
did
big one
both.
was both,
It was both,
online and in person.
yeah.
Well, and they might do that too.
They may do that again, but,
All for the vote.
all right. Our motion is to accept the board goals for the 2022-2023 school year as presented. So, Terry Kumlani,
Aye.
Dewey Robbins,
Aye.
Fred Sotomayor,
Aye.
Tracy Rowe,
No,
Kate Jones, I motion carries. All right, at this time, we move to policy KGBB on firearms prohibition. So I'll entertain a motion.
I move we, accept policy KGBB firearms prohibited as written.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion and a second to accept policy KGB as printed.
Can I speak for that? No, that, I don't know how this goes, so.
The public comment is at the end.
Okay.
We had 2 listening sessions in June. And they were posted at the library, post office, and they were on our website, but they were available. Okay, is there discussion,
So do we,
information?
I got a question, you know, we had a work session last month about this and you weren't able to come.
And I went on and listened to comments.
Yeah.
And I listened to all those things and I, you know, for or against, I don't see an issue with either way. Because here's the thing, is you're still not gonna stop. You know, certain things can happen. I mean, there's people that even when they say it's prohibited and we're a tobacco-free campus and I see people chewing their mouth all the time at all kinds of ball games and everything else, but yet same thing, if you can tell them that they're prohibited from carrying the concealed carry permit and everything else, how are you gonna know the guy on it? Are we gonna spend hundreds of thousands of dollars for metal detectors in every building and they gotta walk through and we gotta search everybody? I mean, you know, there's people that are still gonna break that policy. You know, so.
Anyone else?
We did have 2 listening sessions and they were posted at the library
And the
and the post office.
post office, yes.
Okay. Not a lot of people make it to the library. I've never been to our library. It looks beautiful. I've never went to our post
What
office.
what did I miss?
It was done with the post office and the bank.
And the bank.
And the district website.
And the district courts. So I had my own listening session yesterday, and all I did in this board maybe sitting bringing this up, and I'm going to keep bringing it up because it is a fantastic conduit to the community that we are absolutely ignoring. In my opinion. So I reached out to the community yesterday and simply let them know that we were going to be having a vote on this today. That received a overwhelming response, more than I thought I would get. And, you know, during our 2 public listening sessions, the first one, I think, appreciate making it easy for the staff that we not live here in town that needs to leave in the administration, making it easy for them. And then one a little bit later in the evening for people that work L5. And it was almost, as I remember, split. Seems the way I remember, everybody that works for the school was in favor of this prohibition, and overwhelmingly the public during that work session that not very many people showed up to was not in favor of this. So last time I read comments from Facebook.
We're not doing, if people want to make comments, they need to go through the comments, through the process. So the comments you got on Facebook are for your information, and
I wasn't gonna read any of the comments. I was gonna read every name because last time that was the only thing that was said to me by the chair was that I read comments without names attached.
okay,
So this time I thought I'd read names with no comments attached. So the one person that was, and I wanted to make sure by their comments that they were either definitely for it or definitely against it before I put them on the separate list. And the person that was for prohibiting firearms on Scott, that I even thought maybe was, and I'm not gonna read your comment, Demi Demarest was for the prohibition. Against was Terry Mitchell, Chris Sullivan, James Murch, Jason Sparks, Gina Garber, Corey Reed, Travis Powers, Amy Wolf, Jonathan Shield, Amanda Arnold, Derek Linzer, John Herring, Richard Pinkerton, Dustin Miller, Suzanne Altman, Mark Ferry, Charles Vickery, Rachel Scotty, Kathy Gibbons, Jen Demarest, James Blackburn Jr., Taylor Halstead, and Cameron Pinkerton. So it was pretty overwhelming that the people that got me here into this seat are against it, this resolution. So from the beginning, I looked at this, will it keep our kids safer or won't it? And actually, if there was benefit one way or the other, even if it doesn't keep the kids safer, which I don't think I haven't heard from one member of this board. I haven't heard from one member of the audience, or even the superintendent himself during our last work session stated that this wouldn't actually make kids safer. So it's not going to do that. And then you look at the pros and cons, and cons to me are pretty simple. Over 250,000, close to 300,000 people in the state of Oregon have a CHL, and we would infringe upon that right that they have. Over 25,000 of those citizens live in this county. I don't know, it didn't break it down for in the district. So I'm just gonna really, in my mind, it's simple. It's not gonna make the kids safer, and it's gonna infringe upon the rights of 250,000 Oregonians. Myself being one of them, so I have a dog fighting this form. That being said, Brad talked about the message that is to the faculty and staff, and I don't want that message to mean I don't care. I want that message from me to mean this isn't going to make a difference. in the actual safety of the kids. And I'm not willing to just stop here. If this passes or it fails and we have a legitimate concern, it doesn't really matter. We need to do something that actually makes a difference. And I'm all for that, whatever it is. In the course of my studying this to see if this does make a difference, which I couldn't find one single instance of being a gun-free zone, safe zone, whatever you want to call it, making an actual difference. Couldn't find one instance. There are other things out there that can make a difference through counseling, education of parents on restricting access to firearms. I'm all for that. Another board member, and they may mention it again, mentioned armed security, whatever you want to call it. I can't remember the acronym, but I'm undecided about that. I haven't done enough research to form an opinion about it. I see pros and cons both ways, but I am 100% no on this resolution.
Tracy,
Thank you, Fred. I appreciate that, input and insight. I agree with a lot of things. I agree with almost everything that you said, probably everything. Reactive, proactive, sit back in your chair, have your own thoughts. I think it's important that when we're making important decisions that we don't do just one of those, we do all of those. And what's really important at the end of the day is that when a decision is made, that you have a clear conscience on it. So I took the time to, after our board meeting, after our listening sessions, I took the time to speak with 2 law enforcement officers, one active, one that's been in this community. That person is still active, the other one is retired. And both of them said that this policy has no teeth in it, in regards to dissuade an individual from coming onto public grounds, whether it's government offices, state offices, city offices. If somebody's going to want to do harm, they're going to figure out how to make it happen and do so. That's going to be that way for quite a while, was the consensus from both of those law enforcement officers. However, that being said, both of the law enforcement officers believe that an RSO, I spoke about it before, was something
to the policy.
I am. But I want to highlight that we can do more, we can do better. And we need to figure out how to do it, whether it's partnering with the city of Jefferson in order to make our school campuses safer, our staff safe, and so on. But I'm definitely not for removing the rights of people who have been duly vetted. I do not want to prohibit them, nor do I want to prohibit the residences that are around this particular office and school campuses. Those people that are around here within that 1,000-foot area have constitutional rights also. So I'm done speaking and I'm ready for the vote.
Dewey, you had your cup up.
Yeah, like I say, in making a difference and stuff like that, I understand where both board members are and their confidence, and I appreciate their passion for both of that. I really do. You know, as far as speaking, we are doing a lot of things to make our kids safer. You know, we've instituted, you know, the emoji program, avenues for parents at home to hopefully de-escalate any potential situation that's there. So I would just like to point that part of it out from there. I don't think a policy one way or the other is where our problems are at. You know, I really don't. I mean, it's in the mental health part of things, and that's where the biggest problem is. It's bigger than just our district. 250,000, we're at 2,786 is our community right here that out of that 2,786, how many of them are, you know, how many, you probably know the exact number, but it was something like that,
No,
so.
no.
It might be 2,600, I don't know, I just know that there's been an increase in those and some of the new homes that are going in. But how many of them are carriers and where are they at? And it's, you know, not necessarily just about Oregonians and 250,000 of them and all those things. You know, they all have their constitutional rights and those things, and you know, it's bigger than just our school district, but working towards trying to keep all the kids as safe as possible. I mean, I see both sides of the coin, so, you know, that's why I appreciate comments from both of you. I mean, it does that. As far as, you know, leaning on the Facebook as our marketplace thing to get information and those things like that. Words are passion. I don't see that many of them sitting right here in the audience, signing up, wanting to come over here and say those things. Were all these people at those meetings? You know, if it's that important to them, where were they?
If it was put on Facebook, I would have been there.
Okay, well, and that's just it. I mean, everybody communicates a little bit different in those things. If that's an area that we still need to address, then we can. You know, unfortunately, the historical part of Facebook was not real pleasant to the
Right.
Jefferson School District.
Right.
You know, and if it was all positive, I got no
I
problem
agree.
at
I
all
agree.
with it.
I agree.
You know, if
Or
you've
if
ever had,
it was available. All right, ready to call for the question. It's been moved and seconded to accept KGBB firearms prohibited. Tracy Rowe,
No.
Fred Sotomayor,
No.
Dewey Robbins,
I,
Terry Kumai.
Aye.
Kate Jones, aye. Motion carries. At this time, we are up for board comments.
You know, I didn't get a chance to say anything during that discussion. Because I didn't put my cup up and that's fine too, but, you know, I value what our staff. The discussion that they had and their concerns about safety with the guns and stuff in there. And I value that, and I value because they're the ones that are working under those circumstances. And I value the safety of our children. Now, you know, I will agree with Dewey, and I'll agree with Fred, and I'll agree with Tracy on how much this is going to actually make a difference. I don't know. And we have no way of predicting the future, but, you know, if for some reason it keeps one person from bringing a gun in that might, then it's worth it all. And if it gives our staff and our children a little bit more confidence on knowing that they're just that much more safer, then it's worth it all. You know, I appreciate what you guys do, all of our staff, all the classified workers, and we do want to try and make it, or at least I want them to be as safe as possible. You know, our office, our district office, and so on. So that's why I voted on.
the only comment I have to make would be is that I pray we never have to worry about it.
No.
That's where my heart's at.
Fred? Do you have any further comments?
I probably better not.
Okay,
Thank you.
Tracy.
For the sake of the property owners that live within 1,000 feet of the school district property, I suggest that the school district formally inform them and supply them with this policy so that they are aware that they will be in violation of
This policy has nothing to do with distance.
this carries with the other policy. The other policy talks about no firearms within 1,000 feet of the school district.
on the ground.
So I suggest that our school district duly notify those individuals that if they discharge a weapon, they are potentially capable of receiving punishment in the form of felony if they discharge a weapon.
I'm pleased that we've gone ahead and cast our board goals for this year. I'm looking forward to visiting the summer school programs. I'm also looking forward to attending the back to school hot dog feed and supply distribution. I'm pleased to see us back and working, and I was told that our projection will change next time once we get some licenses taken care of with the screens. And at this, if there are no other board comments, we'll go to audience time. We're going to ask that you come forward and stand by the table. If you represent a group, we'll ask you to state that information. And we're going to ask you to limit your comments to no more than 3 minutes, as the board would like to hear from others if they're here to speak. And knowing you had a 30-second.
So can I speak on something that's already passed?
You can speak on anything you would like. So will you state your name?
My name is Gina Manna. I live 3 blocks from the elementary school. I have 2 grandsons that go to the elementary school. Both my husband and I are concealed weapon permit holders. And it's not like we go around looking for a fight, but if there was something that was happening, I know that my husband for sure, I would also take action to draw the attention away. It just hurts my heart that we have to have this conversation this day and age. But my grandchildren mean the world to me. And if I could stop someone who isn't a concealed weapons permit holder going on to the school, doing like they've done in the past, I would possibly be going to jail for a felony. Just like I would protect my home, I would protect my children. You know, that it's not that we're going to strap on and we're going to go to the children's choir, no, it's not for that. It's for a common ground of keeping the bad people from hurting our loved ones, for hurting our community. It's not, I know that everybody has their views, and as I carry a gun to protect myself. My husband leaves. As a matter of fact, I drove from the airport here. If I'm by myself, I have to protect myself. Even though I feel very secure in my community, I feel very secure in my home. I love this community. But if somebody's breaking into the house next door and they're screaming because their parents are gone all the time and they have a loved one that takes care of them that's in a wheelchair confined, you doggone bet I'm going to run over there with my gun. And I'm going to protect that family with the little kids that go to the same elementary school. That's all I have to say. I'm not an advocate. Let's all go shoot up things. Let's go, I want to protect my community, my family, my neighbors. That's all, and if I would have known there was a speaking time, I would have been there. I don't go to the library. I don't bank at our local bank. I would have been there. I would have said my piece. I would have told people, we got to stand up for our children, for our community. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. this point, I'd like to adjourn the meeting at 7:20. 7:20. I'm off.